welcome to Group 1 channel. Today we're going to present to you externality and public good.
Externalities is the actions of one economic agent, can be the producer or the consumer, and directly affect an unrelated party outside the market mechanism. Importantly, it's not accounted for in the market price. While externalities can be classified in two ways, by their nature, production and consumption, or by their impact, positive and negative. Due to time constraint, we will just focus on production externalities, specifically negative and positive externality that arise from production process. Positive production externality is when a firm's production increases the well-being of others, but the firm is not compensated by those others. Nowadays, Vietnam is developing a renewable energy industry. According to the National Power Development Plan, Vietnam needs to achieve a renewable energy ratio of 15 to 20% by 2030 and 20 to 30% by 2045. This not only helps reduce greenhouse gas emissions, protect the environment, but also have create more jobs. In Ninh Thuận province alone, more than 17,380 new jobs have been created and improved people's health and life.
Now, let's turn to negative production externality. So, what is negative production externality? Negative production externality is when a firm's production reduces the well-being of others who are not compensated by the firm. For example, industrial activities can release pollutants into the air, water, or soil, harming human health and the environment. Let's look clearly to Vietnam example, the Ve Đan case. The Ve Đan case in Vietnam is a stark example of the negative externalities of industrial pollution. In 2008, Ve Đan Vietnam admitted to discharging untreated waste into the Thuỳ rivers in Dong Nai province. The reckless act of pollution severely damaged 2,700 hectares of seafood cultivation areas, affecting the livelihoods of thousands of households in Dong Nai, Bà Rịa Vũng Tàu, and Ho Chi Minh City. The pollution destroyed local fisheries and disrupted the ecosystem, forcing many fishermen and farmers to abandon their traditional ways of life. Even after the compensation in the 2010s, local fishermen and farmers like those in Long Tho village continue to suffer. Their attempts to return to aquaculture have largely failed, as farmer shrimp and oysters still die, likely due to ongoing contamination in the rivers. Despite the compensation, there has been no significant support from local authorities to help these farmers recover fully. This case illustrates how negative production externalities such as pollution can lead to significant social and environmental costs. The action of one company can disrupt entire communities, and even years later, the damage may still be felt. As we delve into the concept of externalities, we will also introduce a closely related term, public goods. The interaction between externalities and public goods often presents challenges that market alone cannot solve, making government intervention crucial in certain cases. These goods are often subject to externalities because they are non-excludable and non-rivalrous. Non-excludable is once the good is provided, it is difficult or impossible to prevent anyone from using it. For example, street lighting, once installed, can be restricted to certain individuals while excluding others. Non-rivalrous is when one person's use of the good does not reduce its availability for others. For instance, clean air can be breathed by everyone without one person's consumption diminishing the amount available for others. We have two types of public goods, pure public goods and impure public goods. Pure public goods are goods that are publicly non-rival in consumption and are non-excludable. Example, that national defense and public parks. Impure public goods are goods that satisfy the two public good conditions, non-rival in consumption and non-excludable, to some extent, but not fully. Example is that clean air and public transportation. Now, for our Vietnam example, we will get the example from road construction. In the 2024, Vietnam's Ministry of Transport was assigned by the Prime Minister to allocate 60 trillion Vietnam dong in public investment capital to implement projects such as the North-South Expressway projects, ensuring sufficient funding for smart traffic items, automatic toll collection, weight control of vehicles, and it will be completed in 2025.